Family, I would like us to pay full attention to what's going on in Tunisia because the level of anti-Black racism is showing up in full force. Tunisia is located in North Africa, but they like to distance themselves from Africa. They do not like to identify themselves as an African country. Sad, right? So they treat Black people like trash. Africans are not treated well in Tunisia. Tunisia is an African country, but they do not act like one. They treat other Africans like trash. Even the Black Tunisians, those that are Black in Tunisia, face racism on a steady. Daily, they are faced with anti-Black hatred. Recently, we heard the story of a sister who escaped kidnapping in Tunisia. She narrowly escaped. She traveled down to Tunisia on a vacation. It's time we start sitting down to do a proper research on any country we want to travel to. It's very important. Let's watch the video.
I cannot believe this shit. Like, they really tried to kidnap me in Africa. And if that shit happened to me, I know it happens to other people. And I just was blessed enough to get there. But all right, so when I came out here Friday. Friday night was cool. Saturday night we went out. I'm not a party person, so like an hour into the club, I'm like, I always do this, never new. I'm like, all right, I'm going to the hotel. It's hella taxis outside. It's a lot of people out there. So the taxi brings me back to the hotel. I come upstairs. I go to the front desk because I needed a key. My key, I don't know what my key was, but I went to the front desk to get a key. So they gave me a key. I come upstairs. Then I'm like, dang it, ain't no tissue. I go back downstairs. I go to the front desk. Y'all, that is the last thing I remember, being at the front desk.
Now, family, from that video, it seems as though the Uber driver, the hotel staff knew what actually happened to that sister, but they kept quiet about it. Let's watch a video of this brother.
Tunisia isn't just a place where Black travelers are being targeted. It's become a hotbed for human trafficking, and allegedly, Tunisian authorities are complicit. According to 3 testimonies from migrants who were rescued in the Mediterranean, Tunisian police are intercepting Black African migrants, handcuffing them and driving them to the Libyan border where they're sold to militia. Listen to this. One survivor named Charlie from Cameroon said, the Tunisian police sold us to kidnappers, Libyan bandits. The selling price was 150 dinars, approximately $25, less than the price of a goat. $25 for a human life. A woman named Ivana, 26, was living in Tunisia when police raided her home at night. She was handcuffed, driven to the desert, and handed to armed Libyan men. To get out, her sister in Cameroon went into debt to pay $690. Here's what makes it worse. The European Union and Italy are funding Tunisia's border enforcement through migration deals, knowing this is happening. So when we hear about Mika, a Black American woman on vacation, being drugged and almost trafficked, we have to ask ourselves, are Black tourists being targeted in the same networks that are trafficking migrants? Last thing we want to do is discourage you all from visiting any place, especially other Black countries. But this is bigger than travel recommendations. This is about a system of anti-Black violence being enabled by state actors and the rest of the world looking away because migrant agreements are more important than Black lives. So here's our recommendation. If you're planning to travel to Tunisia, don't.
Over the last year, we've heard horrifying reports of Black migrants being beaten, left stranded on the streets without food or shelter, evicted from their homes, and what's worse, some of these attacks intensified when Tunisia's president said that Black Africans were trying to change the demographics of Tunisia. Like, seriously? Tunisia is an African country. Our brothers can go there, right? So what does he mean by changing the demographics of Tunisia? And guess what? He backtracked on what he said. He said that wasn't what he meant, but the damage had already been done. Because due to what he said, many people lost their lives, many Black Africans in Tunisia, even those originally from Tunisia. Let's see this, family. Tunisia authorities should ensure an immediate end to the wave of attacks against Black African migrants across Tunisia, which started in early February and accelerated following racist and xenophobic comments made by President Kais Saied on 21st February, Amnesty International said. Now, family, this report was from 2023, that's March 2023, about 2 years ago. And racism, xenophobia is still on a high level in Tunisia. So if you are thinking of going to Tunisia, be very careful. According to what the brother said, Tunisia is a no-no for now. I know the funny thing, family, it's how that this president said black migrants are trying to invade Tunisia, an African country. That's division. What does he think? That Tunisia is in Europe or Tunisia is an Asian country, part of the Asian continent? It's funny how that this president, some African countries do not like to identify themselves as Africa. They feel as though they are not Africans. Nigeria is more African, South African is more African because of the name, Ethiopia, Kenya, but Tunisia actually feels it's not Africa. So maybe Tunisia is now a continent, but it's an African country, so it is African. And the words of the president in 2023 caused damages, irreparable damages, to some black people in Tunisia. Now, Tunisia is a North African country, but they love to separate themselves from the rest of Africa. You hear phrases like, we're not African, we are Arabs, but you are on African soil. You're on African soil, so why separate yourselves? And that is what is causing this divide. Why are so many sub-Saharan Africans going to Tunisia in the first place? Well, family, it's because Tunisia is a transit country for people trying to get to Europe. Migrants from Nigeria, Mali, Senegal, Ivory Coast go through Tunisia hoping to cross the Mediterranean. But when they get to Tunisia, they are not treated with compassion. Hostility meets them there. They are called invaders or illegals. And when this happened, family, Western media didn't cover it. There was little to no coverage. Black people kept going there because not much was said about this. And African Union, of course, we know African Union is just a name. They didn't do anything. We saw countries like Mali, Ivory Coast step in to bring their people back home. I mean, the division is wild. One African country against another. There's no unity, there is no love. And family, this mentality of them trying to separate themselves from Africa is a colonial mindset. Europe divided Africa by race, color, religion. But the thing is, the world still sees us as black people. So it doesn't matter what religion, what culture, we are Africans. So Tunisia has been exposed. Family, be careful of Tunisia. For now, be careful before traveling to Tunisia. So what you have to say about this story? Yeah, are we supposed to address Tunisia as part of Africa? It is part of Africa, but they do not want to be identified as Africa. So what do we say? Cut ties with Tunisia until racism is nipped in the bud, or we keep going back there. Comment your thoughts and do not forget to share, like, subscribe, and turn on your notification button. My name is Lynient Akotonou.